Okay, so when you go into After Effects and you want to handwrite, it's a composition new, and I'll just call this handwriting so it matches. I can save these projects also over to the drive, and then you guys can open them up in After Effects and see how they're done as well. We need a new solid in a new composition, and I'm just gonna pick whatever gray, mid gray, and just paint on that. So what you have to do when you paint, the paint tool is up here as a brush. I have to double click to paint because otherwise it'll give you this error. And if I try to do this, let's see. No, it won't even work anymore. So that's good. You have to double click and then you can paint here. The paint tool is down here. The brush size is here. You can. Why is it not opening? It's hidden. There's brushes. You can change the brush diameter. You can the hardness and softness of the brush, so you can figure out how big you need to make it. And then this is just okay. That used to be my signature in high school. So, all right. So Dan K. But whatever. Yep, that's what I was called. They said nice, Dank. Good. Okay. They didn't say it with the ST, but now that I say it, it's kind of funny. All right. So paint. I now painted with 9 brushes to make that text happen, and I can highlight all the brushes so that I can undo all that brush painting with stroke options. So I've just actually highlighted all 9 brushes. I'm going to actually raise this. It's a new brush. So stay. Yep, if you were to do a signature and stay on it, it's one brush. But it's not that hard to do multiple brushes. I've done up to like 25 brushes and then had to modify how fast they each write. And I'm going to actually attach this to a picture next. Same with that grunge frame. I'll try one of those. So stroke options, start and end. The end is what we want to animate. So we're basically going to take end and we're going to back them all up to 0. So I added a keyframe there, and I want to take maybe this long to write them on, and they'll all write on at the same time unless you take each brush and push it off to happen after the last one. So you have to go brush 1 happens after brush 2, after brush 3, and you push all these keyframes so they happen after each other. And this is the K, and this is the dot. And this isn't real time. Let's see what real time would look like. And so this might be a little slow. So since it's a little slow, and I don't want to mess with any of this anymore and try to go into each one, I can I can do a subcomp, and I can make the timing faster. So if you want to speed something up, actually I can probably do it right with this. Right click on a layer and go time stretch. It might sound opposite. Time stretch to 50% and make it happen in half the time. This is handy with video, so if you want to just do a slow-mo in here treatment, you can make it 200%, 500, whatever percentage you want. This speeds it up by half, or double, I should say. And some of the brush strokes happen a little slow, like the little A needs to happen a little faster. I could tweak that inside of the brush tool. I can anytime change the brush to a different color. Like I can make each one have a different color. Not that I want to. But I can make that happen by going into that. And you can also change the diameter, and you can change the diameter over time. So if my K is too thick and I wanted to change it, I can go into stroke options and I can change the diameter also. So if I find that's too thick, I can make that different, and I can animate the diameter over time, which is also pretty cool of an effect to do. And I can make it happen when it draws it on. So now it's like a balloon animal getting bigger as it's whatever. So very powerful tools inside of here. That's just the tip of the iceberg because we're going to go make something out of a new layer because I just want to show you how powerful you can make masks in this software as well. So I'm going to make the grunge frame. I'm just going to make it out of a solid. I'm going to close up this. Turn off that and just use my masking tools now. I'm going to make a kind of a weird kind of frame. Just kind of a rough frame. And I'm going to put it on a gray solid. I keep forgetting that one doesn't go over. Okay. So gray. And put it behind. And now I got this frame. There's an effect called roughen. R-O-U-G-H-E-N. Roughen. Roughen edges. This is really cool. Okay, so when you add this and you change the border, I'm going to have to make this full. And that should work. Too bad you can have to see the... So basically, roughen edges adds changes to it. And I'm going to animate the effect for border from 23 to back down to 1. Ghost Adventures I've been watching a lot of lately, so this is totally Ghost Adventures, okay? I got inspired, right? Ooh, now you're scared. Okay. That's actually, there's a film burn as well. Yeah. No. Mhm. So basically I can flip this and make a full frame. I can change the borders to look different, like completely different. Notice no Photoshop here, nothing be. It 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 typically updates, but I've found it both ways. I've had a reload, I've had to double check the name of it, so it's kind of hit and miss. It should reload. Let me save this. Demos. Um, I call this one right on. Yeah, you can. Okay. So say I want to draw this frame on over time with that paint tool. So what I'm going to do is actually do a new layer, a solid layer, and I'm going to paint over. I'm going to actually. I have to kind of. This is. I didn't want to guess, but I kind of have to guess. The way I'm doing this one is paint. And that's, I kind of know that that's the frame. It's not really that difficult to kind of guess where that frame is. If I wanted to paint and reveal artwork, like a photograph, I could paint right on the photograph, and I'll do that actually next. So if I take the paint effect and I change the brush stroke end, and I make that a keyframe, and I back up and I make this one 0, I basically write on. Now paint on transparent, I can turn that on. And when I turn this on and show this, I'm basically now painting there. I'm going to stretch this and cheat. It's not really cheating, it's just doing it to make it work. I don't want to paint anymore, I want to move. Oops, I can stretch that a little less. So I just missed a little bit on that frame, but what I'm going to do now is use the paintbrush that I painted on. And you notice it painted where I started the timeline, which is over here. I need to move that back. Paint brush, and I can move that forward. So now I can actually use the alpha channel of this, the pixels of the red brush, and reveal the black solid underneath. So I can use alpha matte gray. Oh, I'm using the wrong. I'm totally on the wrong one. Command Z. I move the wrong one below it. So it's this one. And I need to have this one. There we go. So now the paintbrush reveals the frame, and I paused a little bit right in the middle there. Okay, and now if I were to add the cool font like the show, let's do, and we'll shrink it, and we'll pick a cool. We're gonna actually add. Oh, okay. Well, nah, I'm not gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with this, but I'm gonna do rough and edges on this, and then hope. There we go. So now, well, I don't have to. I can actually roughen this thing. It already has a glow, kinda. There it is. And then look at this. No kidding, right? And then now I animate scale over time. Oh, I didn't need to make that black because it's black text, really. And now if I animate roughen edges scale, and I can do it over time. I don't know how fast it'll be, but we'll see. It's still rendering. And then I'm going to actually make it show up slowly. So I believe that is. Where is that? There. Border 28. Cue the spooky music. Okay. Ah, spookier than that. That sounds like. I'm not sure what that one was. Yeah. Yeah. I'd still work on that. Yeah, right. There it is. Oh, we can do ripple. That's the one. And I'd move the right frame, and I would animate, and then I would animate the right frame the same way, and I'm gonna lock the mask because when I pick it up, it typically drags the mask with it. I'd probably flip that and make it black and white the other way. So composition new, ghost final, and then add this to here and do invert because this is faster than trying to change all the pieces. And then brightness contrast, and then this should make it look cool. And then I can do the glow over that. So now when I duplicate this, Command D, scale, and add that same kind of feeling to that. Fast blur. And of course, more and more people are writing shortcuts to this and different kind of effects that do some of this stuff for you. That, yeah, just actually looking up tutorials is like faster to find things you want to do than actually searching the software. You find that out? Like it's just so many things online that it's just faster to find it. Yeah, and you make them your own. Right. Yeah. There we go. So now you got handwriting, writing on, and then we can reveal shapes as well. Actually, let me